Hello friends. So now we have the next topic to discuss today is insurgency in northeast of India. See, India has seven states in northeast part: Assam, Arunachal, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Manipur, Nagaland, Tripura. These are seven states we have in our eastern part, and our eastern region's border is connected with Myanmar, Bangladesh, and China. Somehow it is also connected with Bhutan also, but Bhutan is our friend allies. So from the time of our independence we have some problem due to other eastern border neighboring countries. So they provoke some insurgent groups, tribal communities to enter in India in illegal way. Here some tribal communities who are living in hilly region and forested area, they are creating disturbance in Indian administration in our northeast states. And these groups are called to be militant or insurgent groups, have created their mutual cooperation to fight with Indian security forces. Here our international boundaries are in hilly area, slopy region, forest area. So some areas at every inch, every centimeter to put the security forces is not possible. So they are creating these insurgent activities. So India need to be alert with all these groups. You have to understand this topic some in detail. As like in Nagaland, one group is insurgents group, National Socialist Council of Nagaland, NSCN, National Socialist Council of Nagaland. It is working for developing Greater Nagaland. So you can understand Greater Nagaland means today's Nagaland state, and they are basically Naga community, tribal community. They want to develop their surrounding area, including some region of the Manipur. They want to include in their Naga state, and they want to see that the Naga state must be administered as they want, not as per the Indian law, but as they want. So it is not possible. Due to that, in Nagaland, the terrorist activities, the insurgent activities, the rebel activities are taking place, and the provocation is done by other countries' illegal supports. They mostly expect for demand of separate state. So here in case of Nagaland, they are asking for the Greater Naga State. You can understand very well. Okay, the another state is Manipur, and actually here basic problem is of internal clash between Naga community and other tribal community named as Kuki community. So Kuki community has expectation to establish their area, and Naga community wants to encroach this area. So due to that, the armed clashes are happening so many times between these two communities, and here Kuki community have established their two groups: Kuki National Army, shortly spoken as KNA, and Kuki National Front, shortly spoken as KNF. So NSCN from Nagaland and Kuki groups from Manipur are constantly attacking over each other to encroach each other's area and to establish their power in both areas. So this is internal clashes, but ultimately our problem is it is a disturbance in local area for local residents who want to live peacefully. That is the main problem. Okay. Next point is about state of Tripura. See, here you have to remember first that Tripura is the state which is covered from three sides by Bangladesh. Here the problem is very awkward type of problem. Why I am saying awkward type of problem? Original resident of the Tripura are fighting to stop insurgents to come inside, from preventing them to come from coming inside. Now you can ask me question, insurgents means what? Illegally who are entering to somebody's area, they are insurgent. And due to that, here two groups of original Tripura residents have been established: National Liberation Front of Tripura NLFT and All Tripura Tigers Force ATTF. National Liberation Front of Tripura NLFT and All Tripura Tigers Force ATTF. These two groups are fighting to stop insurgents entering to India. And the insurgents have also created their own group to remain there, to sustain there in that area. And their group is Tripura Upajati. Tripura Upajati Jupa Samiti. Tripura Upajati Jupa Samiti, TUJS. So this insurgent group wants to stay there, and other two groups wants to throw them back from whichever area they have come. So in that way the internal clashes have started in the Tripura. So the peace of the local area has been disturbed, and our government is taking step to stop the insurgents to enter our area, from entering our area. Right, my friends? Now the point is coming about Assam. Assam is the state which connect India with the other eastern part of India. Here also the problem of the insurgency. So the people who wants to stay there have established their front, and other groups wants to throw them out have established their own fronts. So four groups are here. First is the ULFA, ULFA, United Liberation Front of Assam, United Liberation Front of Assam. Second group is UMF, UMF, United Minority Front, United Minority Front. Third group is NDFB, NDFB, National Democratic Front of Bodoland. So here you understand, Bodoland means here Bodo community is also living and they want to establish their area in this state. So they are fighting for their own reason. National Democratic Front of Bodoland, and other Bodo group is there, Bodoland Liberation Tigers Force, Bodoland Liberation Tigers Force, BLTF, BLTF. So here you understand that these seven states is a cluster of multi-tribal community area. So here many times we find these clashes, and these rebellion organizations are struggling for basically their own demand of separate state, number one. Second, secure their political, economical and other interests. And illegal immigration who are entering to India without getting permission from government is called illegal immigration. So these problems are disturbing our political system, administration and economical structure also. So you can understand very well our northeast state is suffering a big problem by these insurgent activities, right? Okay, now the second point I am going to discuss, most probably last point of rebellion, insurgent, terrorist activities and all, is the terrorism in Kashmir. See, this is a present days hot subject, and I will discuss with textual context and today's context also, right? Okay. When India became the independent country as independent nation on 15th August 1947, two different countries took shape, India and Pakistan. But after our independence, Pakistan tried to encroach some part of the Kashmir from us. Due to that, sometime war erupted between India and Pakistan in 1948, exact next year after our independence. Thereafter 1965, thereafter 1971, thereafter 1999. So different wars have erupted between both the country. The reason is Kashmir. They want to encroach Kashmir from us. Actually, as per our Parliament declaration and as per our constitution, Jammu Kashmir is our integral part of India. I repeat, Jammu and Kashmir is integral part of India. But I have stated just before that Pakistan tries to occupy the area. So In lots of the wars, Pakistan failed. So they tried one attempt to spread terrorism in India, mainly in Kashmir. By 1985, 86, 87, 88 and 90s complete decade means period of the 10 years. In this period, they supported terrorist activity in India, and who wants to be depart from India, they started to support them. The terrorists are doing kidnapping, murders, bomb blasts, some attacks over Indian territory, some attacks over Indian important buildings, and one unacceptable cannot be justified such an act I am discussing now, that Kashmiri Hindu families, they are Pandit families, lots of the people were required to migrate from Kashmir because they attacked them, they killed their males, they did inhuman act with the female of these families. And since 1990s, these Kashmiri Pandit families are living in different regions of India as like the refugees. Refugee means who have no shelter and bound to live in other country. So in own country, these Kashmiri Pandits are living as the refugees. This is the sadness. And Kashmir, they means terrorists tried to make as a separate state from India. In this activity, India has also taken some strong steps. So we have continued to make the talk with terrorist groups, but also gave them response as they did the violent activity. We respond to them by killing that terrorist also. So in that way, we have lost our soldiers. So it's a martyrdom. When the soldier loses his life for the nation, it is a martyrdom. Our lots of the soldiers have accepted martyrdom to stop this terrorism in Indian territory. Thereafter, some steps have been already taken to stop all these things. But even then, all steps have not completely been stopped. That is our problem. So many time elections have taken place in this Kashmir region. But lastly, in 2019, India had taken very bold step. Actually, by our constitution, Kashmir was given separate special status as the state of India by Article 370 and Article 35 capital A. So you can understand that in that area all Indian laws were not applied except security force, currency and other basic taxation laws. All laws or all schemes of Indian government were not possible to give benefit to the people living in the Kashmir area. So our government had taken bold step by removal of Article 370 and Article 35 capital A. So by thereafter, Jammu Kashmir became part of India and Jammu Kashmir was divided in two parts. Actually, Jammu Kashmir is included with Leh, Ladakh, Kargil, all these regions. But For easy administration, government had divided this Jammu Kashmir state from Leh Ladakh state. So Leh Ladakh is the union territory separate, and Jammu Kashmir itself is a union territory now. So directly under control of central government of India. And right now, most of the Indian programs, schemes, welfare schemes, benefits have been started to given to the people living in those areas. So you can understand very well that the region which is with us in India's control, so actually it's India's integral part, so it is our control is there. So in that area the development of the people is seen very well, and which part of the Kashmir is remained with the Kashmir's part in Pakistan occupation. They have occupied that area. It is not that area, but they encroached illegally, and actually they had to vacant that area but not made vacant and remain at there. And that area is Pakistan occupied Kashmir, POK. That area is not completely developed and is having lots of the problem even in the administration also. People living are there are not happy with those administration, and in Indian area whichever the area is developed has seen very well development, so it's a greatness for us, right my friends. So I discussed today complete situation of the terrorism in Kashmir up to today, and last I want to add one point, that in last 2 years more than 200 terrorists have been killed by Indian forces, because when they tried to attack our forces they responded them very well, and in that way the regions are now safe and free to live easily, right my friends. So I have completely discussed the terrorism in Kashmir also. Okay, now the next point are these 2 points I have to discuss: social effects and economic impacts of terrorism in human life. The first I am discussing social effect. First point is terrorism leads to disintegration of nation. It affects to the people's integrity. The people or the states feel that they cannot be connected with each other due to the terrorist thoughts. Second point is terrorism creates feeling of fear. Feeling of fear means create fear in mind of the people, that how can they live, the suspicion in mind of people, they cannot do the business, they cannot live there. So these terrorists are doing activities to create fear in mind of people. The activities like robbery, violence, kidnapping are taking place. So they are creating fear in mind of people, and due to all these things the disturbances arising in administration so education mainly suffers, and children are misguided, misleaded, wrongly side they move. That is the problem. Third social impact is terrorism has affected to the mutual faith and trust on each other, and feelings of the brotherhood has been destroyed, because due to this situation some people leave the trust in each other and move to the terrorist activity. So the religious harmony has been disturbed, social harmony has been disturbed, the mutual trust on each other has been disturbed. Many times this situation leads us to the communal conflict. Conflict means clashes, communal means groups on the religion. It affects to the social arrangement of the state. It destroys the brotherhood with each other. Shred in fragments means divisions. Anarchy, chaos, disturbance, unrest disturbances continued and generate in the society of our country. So not only one country but in the international level it is becoming a big problem for all. Due to this situation people are suffering that they may not celebrate festivals very happily with enthusiasm, and naturally the interconnectivity within the groups of the people has been disrupted because the trust and mutual faith and confidence has been destroyed. So the people are divided in groups. This is the biggest setback of this terrorism. Okay, the second part of the effect is economic impact. You have to remember that these terrorist activities are disturbing to our happy atmosphere for development of business and industries. You can understand that trade relations, business relation with each other groups, communities is being adversely affected. Adversely means badly affected, right? And the business suffer a lot. Second negative impact is business industries cannot establish in that area and people wants to live the safe life, so they migrate to other area. That is the best way they feel, but ultimately it's not a best way, but they do so for ultimately life and safety. Third effect is terrorist organization do the extortion of money. Extortion means take money from the people by doing illegal activity of kidnapping. That is the illegal activity, but for money they are doing so. It is a big problem. Black money, narcotics, drugs are entering that area because people and youth is becoming disturbed and frustrated. No employment remain in that area, so people move to the anti-social activities, right? At least government is trying to spend lots of the money for welfare of the people, so they may not move to these activities, but it is happening. And government have to spend money to re-establish those destructed buildings, railway stations, bridges, roads, radio stations, bus stations, airports, anywhere, any kind of the destruction takes place, government have to re-establish them again. And thus, due to that, lots of the rupees which are actually planned to spend for the welfare of people will be used for this reconstruction and will harm to the welfare programs for the people which are planned. So in that way, terrorist activity harm to the businesses, trade, industries, lifestyle of people in a whole, and mainly tourism, because Kashmir is a tourism place and people are having fear, so they are not going there. This is the big problem we have now, right my friends? So you can understand, I have discussed here social and economic impacts of terrorism on our lifestyle. Okay.